Today's episode is brought to you by our lead sponsor, Crew.
Today we're talking about negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, the tip-off of March Madness, questions about the legitimacy of pardons signed by President Biden, and other top news for Wednesday, March 19th. Stay informed while remaining focused on Christ with the pour-over today. Here's the quote of the day. It is the most counterintuitive aspect of Christianity that we are declared right with God not once we begin to get our act together, but once we collapse into honest acknowledgement that we never will. Dane C. Ortland. Let's get started with some espresso shots. Russia and Ukraine are taking baby steps toward peace. In Saudi Arabia last week, Ukrainian and American delegates discussed a 30-day peace plan that Ukraine was ready to accept. Meetings left the ball in Russia's court, and President Putin acknowledged that the ceasefire's idea is right, but questions remained about details and enforcement. Presidents Trump and Putin had a chance to hammer out some details in a nearly 3-hour phone call yesterday. Putin agreed to end strikes on Ukrainian energy infrastructure, and the White House said negotiations for a Black Sea truce and permanent ceasefire will begin immediately in the Middle East. Negotiators may have a tall task. Ukraine wants security guarantees to prevent future invasions, while Russia says its key condition is ending all foreign military and intelligence assistance to Kyiv. Christians should be committed to praying for world leaders to be wise and to work toward peaceful resolutions while simultaneously placing our hope in God, not government. 1 Timothy 2:1-2 says, "First of all then, I urge that petitions, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for everyone, for kings and all those who are in authority, so that we may lead a tranquil and quiet life in all godliness and dignity." The big dances are upon us. The men's and women's NCAA basketball tourneys are tipping off this week, with men's play officially starting Thursday and women's on Friday. Hoping for their one shining moment are men's top teams Auburn, Duke, Florida, and Houston, and women's number 1 seeds UCLA, Texas, USC, and South Carolina, aka the defending champs. While college hoops head toward its final buzzer, things on the diamond are just getting warmed up. Japan native Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers beat the Chicago Cubs in Game 1 of the 2025 season-starting Tokyo Series. Game 2 is this morning. The rest of MLB will celebrate opening day on March 27th. Here's a verse to consider whether you're waiting for tip-off, for opening day, or for a new season in your own life. But based on his promise, we wait for new heavens and a new earth where righteousness dwells. Therefore, dear friends, while you wait for these things, make every effort to be found without spot or blemish in his sight, at peace. 2 Peter 3:13-14. President Trump is questioning some John Hancocks. Sunday, President Trump claimed that former President Biden's last-minute pardons of the Jan 6 Select Committee, Dr. Fauci, several Biden family members, and others were void and vacant, alleging they were signed using an auto pen without then-President Biden's knowledge. Auto pens, mechanical devices that mimic signatures, have been used by presidents since Truman, typically on documents of lower-level importance, for example, letters. In 2005, the DOJ's Office of Legal Counsel issued a memo saying auto pens could be used to sign bills into law at the president's discretion. President Obama was the first to do so in 2011. Legal experts say revoking the pardons would be an uphill legal battle. The White House said President Trump was simply raising the point of concern and questions should be directed at former Biden officials. Being peaceable, gentle, and open to reason in the face of political controversies is a sign of God's wisdom in us. Believing you're right is not an excuse to be harsh or condescending. James 3:17 says, "But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peace-loving, gentle, compliant, full of mercy and good fruits, unwavering, without pretense.
With over 1,000 translations and every type of decorative edition, it's easy to forget how many people can't even get their hands on a single copy of the Bible in their native language. That's why we've partnered with Cru. Cru has missionaries in almost every country, but they need more Bibles. One missionary said, "I've never seen such a thirst for the Word of God in my country." Let's quench that thirst. For just $24 a month, you can provide 3 people with Bibles every month. As a bonus, Cru will provide meals to 12 hungry individuals through their humanitarian ministry and send you a free TPO coffee mug. Simply text POUR to 71326 or visit give.cru.org/pour. Again, that's texting POUR to 71326 or give.cru.org/POUR. Message and data rates may apply. Available to U.S. addresses only.
In other brews, here's a rapid round of updates. Israel and Hamas ceasefire is over. Maybe. Palestinian authorities reported that a wave of airstrikes killed hundreds across Gaza early Tuesday. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said he ordered strikes because Hamas rejected an extension of the ceasefire's first phase in favor of Phase 2. Hamas said the strikes are a death sentence for hostages. Negotiators are trying to salvage the deal. A legal battle's brewing between the White House and the courts. A hearing was held Monday to examine whether the Trump administration defied a district court judge's order to stop the deportation of alleged Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador over the weekend. The DOJ largely refused to answer questions while the judge defended his authorities. Expect SCOTUS to weigh in. Getting a Harvard degree just got more affordable. The Ivy League University announced Monday that it would begin waiving tuition for students whose families earn less than $200,000 a year and cover additional student expenses, insurance, housing, etc., if families made less than $100,000 a year. Harvard's president said the move will open its hallowed halls to a wider array of backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives. As it turns out, Forever 21 isn't forever. The Millennials Mall staple will close all U.S. stores, blaming rising costs and competition from foreign fast fashion brands. Meanwhile, Pepsi is adding some digestion-friendly fizz to its portfolio, acquiring Poppi, the prebiotic soda brand that's a favorite among health-conscious consumers, for a gut-healthy $1.65 billion. Astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore are back on planet Earth, just 278 days after their planned arrival. Concerns with their Boeing Starliner spacecraft caused many delays. The two returned with another NASA astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut on a SpaceX capsule yesterday evening, splashing down off the coast of Florida, where they were greeted by a pod of dolphins. And that's all we have for today. Thanks so much for listening. If you're listening on the Apple Podcast app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow and hit the notification bell to never miss a new episode. We appreciate your support and hope you have a great day. We'll see you on Friday.